Honestly, man, it's the NFL, and they're a good team, and they got, they're a couple years removed from winning the Super Bowl. They got some key players there who helped them do it. I didn't expect to come out and lose at all, let alone in this fashion. But hats off to the Rams. They wanted it more. They played harder, and they executed better. Obviously not the way we wanted to start, but the one thing I do know about this team and myself is that we're going to get back to work. So we got to figure out how to get better from this, and we got 16 opportunities to go out there and right this wrong.
No one likes to lose a homecoming, but in the NFL, any given Sunday is both a promise and a threat.
And linebacker from Utah State.
The 12s, never at a loss of noise for their beloved Bobby, remind him just how much 54 was missed in that blue and green.
It's big for him to be back here. It's not just us, his family's here. All the community work he's done, all the things he's done over his career as a Seahawk, it's special. It's not something that he's coming back and it's like it's the last dance. It's just he's back in the colors he belongs in, the team that he belongs to be, and in a city that's embraced him. So, I want to be able to remember that I was here when Bobby was able to come back and I had a part to do with that.
Captain Bobby Wagner meets a former team at coin toss again, but this time, he's in the right colors.
The handoff to Akers. He comes near side and he's going nowhere. In fact, he's going to lose 5.
Bobby's return to Lumen Field may have captured the most hearts, but it was Jordan Brooks' quietly spectacular return from his late season injury in 2022 that caught Wagner's eye.
Being able to play with Jordan again is a blessing. Obviously, he had a crazy injury, but to be in a position that he's in right now is unheard of, and it's a blessing. And I'm excited to play alongside him again.
Stafford out of the shotgun. Long count, motion across the formation. Williams gets the handoff, gets hit in the backfield, and dropped. Jordan Brooks. Geno out of the shotgun, has Walker beside him in the backfield. 4-man rush, Geno has time. Near side, catch is made, DK Metcalf, and is knocked out of bounds near the 25-yard line. 12th play on the drive, 2nd down and 9. Charbonnet stays in the backfield. Here comes the blitz. Geno has time, throws it over the top. Metcalf, touchdown, Seahawks. The Rams blitz. They go to a man-to-man on DK Metcalf. Not a chance, baby. Maher off the right hash mark. It gets blocked. It's rolling near side. It's picked up by the Seahawks. It's Michael Jackson. Looks to cut back inside. Gets ripped to the ground by the Rams. Delayed handoff, Akers. He gets hit in the backfield. He goes down. There were 1, 2, 3, 4 Seahawks out there, blue jerseys.
A hopeful first half devolved quickly in the second half, with the Rams taking and keeping the lead for the final 2 quarters.
Akers, the single setback. He gets the ball in his hands. He gets hit in the backfield and dropped. Nice job by the Seahawks. Chinnan Nwosu firing across the line of scrimmage. A disappointing game, to say the very least. I'll tell you, there's no part of this Seahawks game today that gets out from under scrutiny.
But despite the disappointment of starting the season 0-1, there were glimmers of excitement. The kid from LA in blue and green leading the NFL in week 1 with 19 tackles being one of them.
When we get the schedule, I always look to see when we play LA, not necessarily because of who they are, but just that's, where I'm from.
You always want to have more than just a player to staff guy, right? You always want to have more of, his kids, his family, and those things. And Bobby gives you that. 5 years ago, brought his Pro Bowl jersey and signed me for Christmas and said, hang it on the wall, because I want to be with Cortez and Walter Jones, right? Walt gave me his last Pro Bowl jersey. He came back and he goes, I want you to have this, Tez. Said, how come you don't have one of mine? And he gave me one, and Bobby came in and said, I want to be with them. It's cool to see him go from a guy from playing football at Utah State to being a 2nd-round pick, and from the minute he got here, was going to be a Hall of Famer.
With the 47th pick in the 2012 NFL Draft, the Seattle Seahawks select Bobby Wagner, linebacker, Utah State.
And that's Pete Carroll's kind of linebacker. Bobby Wagner's been a fast riser. He tested extremely well. He's a big linebacker.
Your linebacker group, you learning that middle spot, you having Barrett there as a veteran. How's that whole thing going?
I think it's going well. You know, I'm just taking it a day at a time, trying to learn the defense, you know, as fast as I can, but I think I'm picking it up.
10 years and countless snaps later, I think he's picked it up. Welcome back, 5-4. We missed you.
Right side, still looking. Looks like there was a hold out there. Seahawks intercepted Bobby Wagner at the 35. He brings it back upfield 30, 25, breaks a tackle, knocked out of bounds. Bobby Wagner with a nice interception on the far sideline and an even better return. Brady out of the shotgun, takes the snap, steps up, fires. Inside ball is intercepted. Intercepted, coming back the other way. It's Bobby Wagner. First down attempt from his own 25. Dalton goes under center this time. Handoff inside. The ball is on the ground. The Seahawks pick it up. It's Bobby Wagner. He's going to go. 5. Touchdown. Seahawks. Are you kidding me? What a turnaround. Michael Bennett forces Rex Burkhead to fumble in the backfield. Bobby Wagner picks it up on a bounce. And he is gone. First and 10 for the Washington Redskins at their own 6. Cousins shotgun snap. He's in the end zone. He goes down for safety. Bobby Wagner on the blitz. Gets right through the middle untouched, and Kirk Cousins never saw it coming.
I'll tell you what, Bobby Wagner is special. He's one of the greatest players that's ever played here. Bobby got that touchdown and ran back to the Niner game, and he gave me the football.
Slot left side, Seattle rushes 3. Mullins throws to the middle. It's intercepted. Going the other way. He's out across the 30, the 40, midfield, down the far sideline. Is he going to outrun everybody? He is. It's Bobby Wagner from the goal line. 99 yards. He lays down in the end zone. Somebody bring him oxygen. Bobby Wagner all the way the length of the field. The quarterback couldn't catch him. And Wagner will pin that picture on his wall. From the 30, 3 receivers near side, play fake. Boyle throws a screen pass near side. Taking it straight upfield across the 35 is Jamal Williams. And a Seahawk is slow to get up. It's Bobby Wagner. Bobby Wagner has played 100% of the plays on defense this season.
He wouldn't say I'm going to be a Hall of Famer, but I'm going to be a Pro Bowler. I'm going to be a consistent player that leads the team. And to see him come through some of those older groups and grow through that and become a leader that he is, I mean, he does things that people will have no idea what he does. We come back from a road trip and there's guys in there starting the recovery process, 17, 20 guys in the cold tub recovering for Monday. So they feel better on Monday that people will never know that he does. And it started because of him. And when he left a legacy.
I'm Kayla Burton with some breaking news just coming into the NFL Network newsroom. Thank you so much for joining us. To the victor go the spoils, and the Super Bowl champs just added a pretty big new spoil. Former Seahawks All-Pro linebacker Bobby Wagner is now a Los Angeles Ram.
Again, like my last play in a Seahawks jersey wasn't a good one, and so to be in a position to change that is a blessing for me. I think I'm excited about that. I think I'm coming back with a new energy. You know, I think, you know, when you're around and in it, you know, the same situation for a long time, I think naturally as human beings, you grow to not appreciate certain things. And so when you see what life is like elsewhere, you come back with a different appreciation. But then also, you know, kind of going back to when I first got into the league, there was a lot to prove. There was a lot of doubters, and you know, you just wanted to, you know, prove yourself right. And so I'm in that position again.
So back in March of 2022, the Rams signed longtime Seahawks linebacker Bobby Wagner. Rams wideout Cooper Kupp tweeted, "Let's go, don't have to play against Bobby Wagner anymore." That's great, until the future Hall of Famer just signed a 1-year deal to go back to the Seahawks, where he spent his first 10 years playing in front of the 12s. So now Cooper Kupp quote tweeted that 1-year-old post and said, "Well, I guess that's I got walk back on that. So, yeah, Bobby Wagner's back in Seattle with his pit stop in LA behind him. So let's talk this. Who is a player that you wished played his entire career with a single team?
What about the Seahawks organization made you want to be back here, even if things didn't go as planned a year ago?
Just the culture, the relationships that I've built over the years within the organization, outside of the organization, and just the love that I have for the city. I just think that it was something that I wanted to get done, something I wanted to have happen. I've been around for a long time, so I saw, guys leave this place, and I also saw, opportunities for guys like Marshawn. I was able to come back. Sherm almost came back in different situations, and so I just thought it was the right fit for me and the right fit for my family.
It was a process. We were trying to figure out, trying to make it happen. The last couple of times, I negotiated, did by myself. I kind of just selected who I felt, I wanted to be the one to kind of share the story. And Quandre, DK, Tyler, a lot of other guys, but mainly those guys, were really, really pushing for me to be, me to come back. And so I just felt it was only right that, if it was going to be a possibility, that Quandre be the guy to break the story.
I mean, it's been amazing. I mean, for me, like, I'd be the steady presence for Kobe and Reek and all the young guys. He's that steady presence for me. You know what I mean? Because at the end of the day, no matter how old you are, you can always learn from somebody. You can always lean on somebody. And I think sometimes I missed that a little bit last year. And for me to just see him in the building, not just his presence off the field, it's his presence on the field too. It's just his cool, calm demeanor, because I'm more of a fiery guy. You see me yelling, you see me, just having fun doing that. But I feel like my mentality switches on game day, where it's like I'm so locked in that I just want to compete. I want to do it the right way. I want to be perfectionist. And Bobby is more the guy. He's calm. He's laid back. Guys mess up, he's gonna go coach them. And I have a bad play, he'll come talk to me. But for me, I feel like I came into this year and I said that I wouldn't take my relationships with B-Wags, my relationship with Jamal, none of that stuff. I would never take it for granted, because you can see just how fast that thing can change, and you miss those guys. You just can't wait for them to be back.
Honestly, it's a blessing, because I personally feel like maybe it wouldn't have happened if they weren't, advocating it so strongly for it. So I think when I left, I didn't think it was I didn't think there were going to be an opportunity for this to happen. But when you got the guys that are still here pushing and wanting you to be back, and you have a situation that happened in LA, just made for a right situation to come back to.
Not only is Bobby a first-class player, he's a first-class person. There's a lot of great players, but to be able to know your family and treat people with respect and hug little kids and just be friendly with people as they come through and care about them and genuinely care. He's one of those guys that makes it fun, that people don't see that side of him all the time, because he keeps pretty private on a lot of things, and he'll answer any question. As long as you're willing to put the work in and you're willing to do the stuff. If you ask him, he's not gonna come and beat everybody's door down to tell him what to do, but he'll help you if you ask. And he's a pro's pro. And he's a guy that when he's done playing here, he'll be one of the top 5 Seahawks that has ever played here. I mean, he's in it working out at 6 in the morning. He didn't tell anybody that stuff. He just does it. And he's always got that smile on his face, right? He's a good father. I mean, I would say, honestly, father 1, football player 2. And he really, truly is a special guy, and we're lucky to have him back. And he will lead. And what he does is generational, right? So bringing Marshawn back to generate, bringing Bobby back to generate, and what it does is it keeps that history going of what Pete wants. Pete and John want to have the legacy going where these guys are going to show the next generation how to be a pro. And whether Bobby plays another year or whatever he decides he's going to play, or the team, how that works out, he's going to lead the group that we have here and be the best player that he can get. He's going to give you everything he's got.
So obviously the inside linebackers, it's really great to have 54 Bobby Wagner back, who sets a great precedent for the group, leader of the group. Just really awesome to have him and everything that he brings to the table.
Leading. The way a pro's pro leads is a daily commitment. It doesn't ebb with a loss or spark with a win. Its key is in the consistency.
Bobby came by this morning, and it was just a really good moment. Just to, we've gotten this far together on this thing, and after all the time we spent together and all that, I was just so grateful to have him, in our football world and again. And I want to make sure he's just like everybody else. He asked about, how we're going to manage it, hopefully really well, but he's got to manage it too. There's a lot going on, with relationships last year and all of that, and just representing us. I think he's going to be great about it, but, I'm not overlooking anybody just because he's been around a long time. He's got to be clear-headed and calm about stuff and play the kind of game he's capable of playing. Trying too hard is a big issue, and I want to make sure that we don't do that. We play within ourselves, and guys, Bobby and Q and Gino and all the fellas, they have to lead that, and demonstrate that, and so hopefully we'll do a good job.
A team can only play within itself if it knows itself. And mixing a young core with experienced leaders is a good way for a team to discover its identity, even if it takes a little time.
It means a lot because, at the end of the day, I think I joined the team at 21. And so I spent all my 20s, being a Seattle Seahawk. And so I grew up out here. I became, what it's like to be from Seattle. And so it's a place that I consider home. And, when I came back the last time, the ovation and, the cheers were just a blessing. I wasn't even wearing the right jersey, and so now I got the right one.
It's always been love from even the moment I left. Coming back, I always, had a peace in my heart. So it was something that was really special. Unfortunately, we couldn't give them the win. I think it's a combination between this is the NFL, and you're gonna get their best shot. Regardless of the record, regardless of the team, they're going to come back. Those guys get paid too. Those guys have families too that they're trying to feed, and so you need to bring your A game every single time you step on the field. And so, you take that, but at the same time, you understand this is week one. There's, 16 more games left. There's a lot of teams that start off 8-0 and fade to the back. There's a lot of teams that struggle in the beginning and catch fire, right before the playoffs. And it's the team that takes their losses and learn from their mistakes throughout the course of the season, play better, have camaraderie. That's going to be, I believe, at the end, happy with the results.
Tomorrow, the Seahawks travel to Detroit, a business trip that provides an opportunity to right those wrongs in real time.